Yah, please fill me with the Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name, amen. Start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehova is our power and authority. Yehova works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehova with your power and authority, with your thoughts in mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. First Peter chapter 3. In the same way, wives, submit to your husbands, so that even if some of them do not believe the word, they will be won over by your conduct, without your saying anything, as they see your respectful and pure behavior. Your beauty should not consist in external, such as fancy hairstyles, gold jewelry, or what you wear. Rather, let it be the inner character of your heart, with the imperishable quality of a gentle and quiet spirit. In God's sight, this is of great value. This is how the holy women of the past put their hope in God, used to adorn themselves and submit to their husbands, the way Sarah obeyed Abraham, honoring him as her Lord. You are daughters if you do what is right and do not succumb to fear. You, husbands, likewise, conduct your married lives with understanding. Although your wife may be weaker physically, you should respect her as a fellow heir of the gift of life. If you don't, your prayers will be blocked. Finally, if you be one in mind and feeling, love as brothers and be compassionate and humble-minded, not repaying evil with evil or insult with insult, but on the contrary, with blessing. For it is to this that you have been called, so that you may receive a blessing. For whoever wants to love life and see good days must keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and chase after it. For Yehova keeps his eyes on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayers. But the face of Yehova is against those who do evil things. For who will hurt you if you become zealous for what is good? But even if you do suffer for being righteous, you are blessed. Moreover, don't fear what they fear or be disturbed, but treat the Messiah as holy, as Lord in your hearts, while remaining always ready to give a reasoned answer to anyone who asks you to explain the hope you have in you, yet with humility and fear, keeping your conscience clear, so that when you are spoken against, those who abuse the good behavior flowing from your union with the Messiah may be put to shame. For if God has in fact willed that you should suffer, it is better that you suffer for doing what is good than for doing what is evil. For the Messiah himself died for sins once and for all, a righteous person on behalf of unrighteous people, so that he might bring you to God. He will put to death in the flesh, but brought to life by the Spirit. In this form he went and made a proclamation to the imprisoned spirits, to those who were disobedient long ago, in the days of Noah, when God waited patiently during the building of the ark, in which a few people, to be specific, 8, were delivered by means of water. This also prefigures what delivers us now, the water of immersion, which is not the removal of dirt from the body, but one's pledge to keep a good conscience towards God. Through the resurrection of Yeshua the Messiah, he has gone into heaven and is at the right hand of God with angels and authorities and powers subject to him. Peter pulls a little bit from the Tanakh. Whoever wants to love life and see good days must keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and chase after it. For Yehova keeps his eyes on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayers. But the face of Yehova is against those who do evil things. That comes from Psalm 34, 13 through 17. Which of you takes pleasure in living? Who wants a long life to see good things? If you do, keep your tongue from evil and your lips from deceiving talk. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace, go after it. The eyes of Yehova watch over the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. But the face of Yehova opposes those who do evil, to cut off all memory from the earth, of them from the earth. Treat as holy as Lord at the right hand of God. No, treat the Messiah as holy as Lord in your hearts. That comes from Isaiah 8, 12 through 13. Isaiah 8, 12 through 13. Don't regard as alliance what this people calls alliance, and don't fear what they fear or be awestruck by it. But Yehovah Svaot, consecrate him. Let him be the object of your fear and awe. He is there to be a sanctuary. But for both the house of Israel, he will be a stone to stumble over, a rock obstructing their way, a trap and a snare for the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Many of them will stumble and fall, but broken and trapped and captured. I think I read a little too much. At the right hand of God. That comes from Psalm 110:1. Often quoted. Because he is there at the right hand of God. A psalm of David. Yehovah says to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading 1 Peter chapter 3? We can learn quite a bit. I'm finishing my journal today, starting a new one, as I have finished my current job. Peter has instructions for wives. Submit to your husbands for the purpose of winning them to Yeshua by your conduct, that's your obedience. Wives, aim to be respectful and behavior that is pure. Find your beauty to be located in the inner character of your heart with the quality of a gentle and quiet spirit. Trust that this is of great value in the sight of Yah. Trust that this is how holy, set apart women of the past put their hope in Yehovah by submitting to their husbands, as Sarah obeyed Abraham, honoring him as master. Peter then says, You are her daughters, if you do what is right and not given to fear. Peter has instructions for husbands. Conduct your married lives with understanding. Aim to respect her as a fellow heir of the gift of life. And Peter says, if you do not, your prayers will be blocked. Peter has instructions for all of us. Be one in mind and feeling. Love as brothers. Be compassionate, humble-minded. Repay with blessing. For this is why we have been called, so that we will receive a blessing. Aim to keep your tongue from evil. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and chase after it. Know that Yehovah keeps his eyes on the righteous, and his ears are open to their prayers. His face, the face of Yehovah, is against those who do evil things. Aim to be zealous for what is good. Know that if we suffer for being righteous, then we are blessed. Know this, do not fear what they fear or be disturbed, but treat Messiah as holy, that is set apart, as master in your hearts. Aim to always be ready to give a reasoned answer to anyone who asks you to explain the hope you have in you. Explain with humility and fear. Aim to keep your conscience clear, because you will be abused for your being in union with the Messiah. Trust that it is Yehovah that has willed for us to suffer for doing good. Trust that Messiah himself died for sins once and for all, so that he might bring you to Jehovah, his Father. Trust that he was put to death in the flesh, but brought to life in the Spirit. Know that just like the 8 in Noah's ark were delivered, so too will be a few delivered. Know that water immersion is a pledge to keep a good conscience towards Jehovah through the resurrection of Yeshua the Messiah. Trust that Yeshua is in heaven at the right hand of Jehovah, with angels and authorities, powers subject to him. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can submit, humble ourselves in unity with each other, share the gospel of Yeshua with all those around us, produce spiritual fruit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. And how can we bear one another's burdens? We can share the gospel with humility, using Jehovah's word, and with the Aaronic blessing. Jehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Jehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards your bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Jehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.